These were some of the best highlights from the Rumble stage of LPL Summer 2024 matchup between Team WE and TT.
Now without flashes to disengage, they need to be very, very careful of that. With double AD carries and the Sejuani Braum, if you get
especially considering there's going to be a couple minutes before an objective fight might be required. Topside we look instead though. Wayward in danger, gold cards, and sidestep some of the damage. Wayward about to get potentially chunked out a bit further. The turnaround is pretty big. Out comes the exhaust. Hoya in danger. Remember, has no flash. Stranglethorns come on through. First blood goes towards the TF. Marcus roamed on up. Yanchang saved by a grand entrance. And TT fumble the play topside.
Oh my word, missing that ultimate. Sidestep dodges out on that ultimate. Baytron misses the W2. It's a nightmare start for Baytron, going back into the mid lane.
Speaking of nightmares, now Wayward gets to take that lead elsewhere. Baytron is here though, turns it potentially around, but again, is just too late, and that is a problem.
Huge problem, because Wayward just got kills in his lane there to force inside lanes.
Plate number 2 claimed down there. Yanxiang here for another lane gang to gang. We did see work out so well. Hoya, lightning rush away, but flash into the E means Hoya's got nowhere to go. Cannot rocket belt out of the Stranglethorns. And Wayward gets another while the grubs were being considered by TT. Going to be a lot harder to do now.
The rookie jungler is having huge impact on this early game. The first 2 Stranglethorns of the game, and also showcasing what are the changes that came through to Zarya. You can E flash coming through. They might need to try and survive here, though. They don't have that ultimate anymore.
Flash on in for the quickness, gets onto the Braum, but the turnaround is pretty big. Flash E to get some turnaround and buy some arrow. Coming down from downtown as well as Yanchang goes down. A 1-for-1 right now. Teleports flying on in. Base one could use a step on forward. Culling is dangerous. WE in a dangerous position themselves, not quite dead to the double tap from Ucal, who just cannot find lethal damage this game.
TT are so close to turning it around in a big fight, but they only take 1 kill out of that. That is disaster for TT. Again, Hoya.
Grubs were somewhat taken by the Zarya picking up 1, but it's still going to be the Dragon stacking stopped by TT. There's still a couple grubs.
Version of Abel, which played in that fan favorite OMG roster. Just wait for the arrow. Gonna wait for that arrow.
Oh, it lands!
Again.
That's huge! Big stun! Doesn't get it. Finally get the exhaust, does come on through just about in time. The turnaround can still be pretty huge here. The gold guard comes on down. Wayward trying to throw as much damage as he can before he's in danger. Another stun will shortly be available for Hoya if he can get it in here. Baytron looking to see whether we get in, but he is too late. And a Glacial Prison will not be aiming them at Wayward over and over and over again. Doesn't save the tower though. Wayward will be able to stick around for this, you would imagine. Can't quite clear the minions in time, and Wayward burns the summoner, but sticks around, holds his nerve.
Wayward gets rid of that flash, but doesn't stop him getting that turret.
Does it? Fofo is going to be trading up with Ucal. Both junglers are here. Barrier comes on down. Damage is pretty good, but over comes Feather and Mark as well. Can maybe look to turn this around. Glacial Prison comes on through. Lands onto Fofo. Yancheng now in danger. Flashing out of top of the passive will land onto the Zyra. And we know what plants do in winter. They wither and they die as Hoya's teleport and a slicing maelstrom secure the skill.
Finally, TT some gold back onto Hoya, importantly, which means that maybe he can contest the individual matchup against Wayward a little bit more. It does mean that Wayward has used his ultimate towards that top side.
Yeah, it means he's not really going to be here to stop this dragon going on down, as 1xN throws out the Ranger's focus and will rapidly burn that particular neutral objective down. Herald summon in mid lane by the side of WE, who want to try and force through this.
They will, and I think they will be able to. There's no real big engage on the other side. 1xN can look for the arrow.
Lands it onto Mark, not the best target. Glacial Prison afterwards is onto Mark again, and it just CCs him for a bit. There's no real way to get to the backside as he goes on. It takes a huge chunk of damage. Page 1 just about alive. 1xN being chugged out as the Stranglethorns came on down. Wayward gets a tier 1 topside all the while as well.
So WE end up breaking. Wayward doesn't want to walk up to Hoya, which is fair. He does have a death cap.
There's a lot of damage. If he puts the exhaust down, that's fine, but it's now not going to be on Ucal, who can start to do this. Can they get out in time? No, they cannot. And they bring down the TF, who knew there was something going on, but still face checks regardless. Double summoners and the shutdown going over.
And his
Braum to ensure no Baron sneak shenanigans occur. That's pretty good news for Thunder Talk, who get themselves that important shutdown, get themselves side against it, not quite having enough information. Hoya is on the flank now, but so is Wayward. Hoya with the flash.
Abel's made a mistake. Oh my god.
Phase 1 now being jumped. They've tried to turn it around themselves. Good angle from WE. They get onto the Sejuani, and it's going to be roast pork for breakfast.
But why didn't Hoya pull the trigger? Abel had no flash, no cleanse, and Hoya could have gone in with the ult. That feels like a massive mistake from the top laner of TT. Baron's not going to go down. Hoya's looking for the flank.
Here we can go, get over the wall. They need to get a gold card onto him now. Wayward in danger. Baron goes down into the backline of the Baron pit. They go. They're all so low. They're in danger. 3 dead already. Fofo and Abel must escape. Double AD carries in danger as Feather and Hoya flash over the wall, making sure there are no contact. Abel, with a lot of HP and double buffs though, could still win this fight potentially for them. They're going to be allowed to reset.
Hoya,
Which one got caught out the last time. This time around though is holding on for the last available moment. Gets on in here. Wayward looking for the angle. Feather now spotting things out. Flash on to the Kennen. Dragon Soul secured. Kennen down already though could prove problematic. Feather and the rest of Thunder Talk now trying to back away. Baseline Arctic Assault to try to get safety as the volley slows prove problematic. Baseline clearing out the wave here. Kind of aware might well be dead. And so he's trying to make the shove afterwards as problematic as possible.
he's got the cloud movement speed, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's trying to run as fast as he can. Fly, this boar is trying to get some wings. Turns out pigs really can fly if you ask them to. Nicely enough, this one's flying straight towards the gray screen though. Wayward potentially was going to get all in by 1xn there, but he thinks better of it, not having that cleanse. And TT, they get themselves soul at the cost of 2.
And there's no Baron or anything to take here, and because Base 1 cleared out the wave, not very easy for them to get a wave in before respawns are here. And slows to prove pretty problematic as Wayward hit with the culling and Chiang as well, taken pretty low after that one, but no one dead. Yukal just about okay. Worried he was going to be in danger there, but not going to be there as the Baron is also timed out, so it shouldn't be too much more on the...
Fofo might be able to combo up with Wayward's gold card immediately, though that's going to be the top, that's tower going down. Wayward might have to leave Fofo, the double
Fofo's
teleport.
in danger, he's dead, can't get the TP out, and that'll be Fofo going down, but it means everyone there could be problematic, but with the Cloud Rift zones, Baron is actually quite hard to start up before people get here in time.
Hoya just ends up teleporting towards mid as well. They want to keep forcing. There's no ultimate here now from the cannon, but maybe TT can force the fight again. They have that Cloud Soul, much easier for them to run forwards and find targets.
Yeah, and of course you've lost so much of your damage. Fofo has no TP and is dead for another 40 seconds. They can start a Baron with that man advantage and feel a lot happier about it.
TT have 0 ultimates, though, is the big problem. They have Yukal's ultimate, but no big engage. Because of that, it makes things a lot more difficult to value of that cleanse for the rest of his teammates.
You can see Infinity Edges completed for 1xn and Yukal. Alright, if the arrow misses, the regular auto attacks will do a lot of work at this point of the game. Arrow afterwards goes wide, was dodged away from. Yukal culling on the backline. Stranglethorns disengage. Wayward looking for the gold card, gets it onto Yukal. Golden now is Wayward! Fire! Slicing Maelstrom from the gods, gets 2, and the rest of the team is immediately eviscerated. They are static shocked down as the Greek god of thunder, it feels like, is here to play. What an ultimate in from Hoya. What a flash.
How did WE fall apart that quickly? They let the cannon get into the backline. Wayward couldn't get his maximum value out of that fight, and Hoya wins the game for Thunder Talk. Wow, they ended up putting themselves a very topical champion up there to the top lane to seal out this win. It was back and forth. They let the TF get ahead, but they did not let him end the game. Nexus falling in favor of TT.
Huge moment there for Thunder Talk, who claim a fantastic team fight win. Wayward went forwards. He tried to get onto Yukal, and he meant he was out of position, not there to exhaust, and suddenly...
Okay, is that Varus top? I think we're getting... Okay, so we're getting one of two things. Varus top or Lucian top. What I would imagine the Ezreal has to say in both our games. 1 in top lane, 2 in mid lane, 1 and 2 in bot lane as well. This is absolutely ridiculous. And like
even TF is an honorary AD carry.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because that's part of the 5 in that first game. Like, it's AD TF. He is an AD carry at that point. So yeah, the Varus much more on the traditional side. But both of our games today, we've had 5 AD carries. Sure, this role is completely fine, folks. This class of champion is completely fine.
This is miserable. I don't have level 6. I can't walk up here. There's a control ward in the bush. Wayward can potentially just... Yeah, he can still throw out the chains of corruption. There's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, and if he has the W, if he has the W arrow, this is looking pretty bad.
Boy, there's potential flash available. Mega Gnar going to be a little ways off. That was a flash on forward for the Q. And Wayward just doesn't miss. Throws out a Cassante emote. He knows he's being a Giga Chad this game.
Yeah, WE played around Wayward so heavily in spring to allow him that lane advantage. TT, they need... That's a great double root.
Gets the double root, and that will be a double kill, surely being delivered to Yukal's waiting arms.
1xn doesn't even get any kill participation. It's like, okay, yeah, Yukal, you can get this one. Ults through the next one as well. Yeah, you can see that, 1xn doesn't even look to that last hit. Like, oh god, I don't know. I was going to say Qui-Gon Jinn and like Obi-Wan Yukal. It doesn't work very well. They're really trying. Wayward, no flash. There is a chance of a big play here.
And another good route. Wayward in danger, but remember, has no flash. Likely to be put under the dirt here Beichuan might be traded back as Yanxiang comes on out, but a flash away keeps him alive just for now. But Yanxiang flashes in turn and makes it the 1-for-1. But Wayward falling is important.
So TT, they run the blockade. They get towards topside, and they get themselves past that blockade of WE to get themselves something into Hoya's lane. It means that Wayward can't get himself...
Alongside the rest of WE, will lose the Gromp. Plants can't secure that even on the retreat.
And now they're trying to set up the blockade again. Hoya, once again, like, he didn't even kill that ward there. Oh, Hoya, they did so much work for him.
There's going to be the rest of TT turning up trying to defend this. Gets the pulverize into the Stranglethorns. There's still 4 members though. And there's no plant really to do lots of damage. UCal not coming on over. They're caught between so many turrets. Mark will likely fall, but can he keep the rest of his members alive? Wayward stepping forwards. The hyper proximity there. There'll be Mega now coming as well. Hoya could do so much work. UCal gets that one. They go way too far to try and punish this Snark.
Massive Stranglethorns from the Jedi of the jungle. Obi-Wan Kenobi gets himself so much DPS with the increased enraged plants as they get a huge amount of DPS over. And that means the Padawan at the mid lane, UCal, comes through really fast and allows you to cross different bits of terrain, much like a Bard can do that for his team. So UCal getting himself in a point of power, can push in lanes and get himself onto the map very, very quickly is something that W need to be really, really wary of. The grubs are going down, WE, they need to now go into this big disengage comp.
Beichuan getting jumped on. Solar Flare lands into the Zenith Blade afterwards. Could make that Zyra very, very afraid. But the bullet time disengaged as well. Hoya tries to get in the backside. Abel will get away, but it will still be Wayward who goes down. Vengeance for the lane. The team fights that much harder to execute. Plants are everywhere as well at this point. As Beichuan puts that one down. Finally, Feather falls. Fofo picks that one up, the culling blocked by the various bits of foliage. Another root lands. Yanxiang in danger. Wall ride from UCal. Barrier available. Hoya hopping on forwards. Fofo looking to maybe hunt over the wall. Will not be able to jump in to get more. Big fight for Thunder Talk.
And it's once again Stranglethorns. Feel that one, Stranglethorns a forced choke in that one too. As TT go towards the dragon, start again playing around their photosynthesizing friends.
I find your lack of plant-based puns disturbing as we find an engage onto Mark, who will be on the wrong end of the mark, I suppose. Is trying to get out of danger. Dragon started. WE sort of here to contest.
Yeah. They almost had their own savior in this one too. They could have had themselves a Luke. They had themselves close enough to the Mark Hamill instead. Basically the same thing, but he's not going to be able to defend this themselves. Dragon going down.
Culling comes on through, gets feathered to half HP, but really that's all there is to write home about. Plants continue to be very obnoxious at this point as Beichuan picks up a couple items. Feather down 20% HP now. Probably has to be a little bit wary on this Alistair.
I found what TT's mid lane is. You have oh, that's going to be the ult through, but Feather has his ult too. Not going to be that much, but you know, luckily, you know, you have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Game shows the growth that they've had as a team. Go back and watch some of their side lane play from the first round robin. It was really, really bad. The fact that they managed to save Hoya from what could have been a very cruel and unusual fate here against the is very, very important. Now this is going to be the cross map from TT, taking down first turret of the game in top side. Gold spread between Beichuan and UCal. Again, that very powerful duo here going in for a second charge now.
Comes landing on in. I don't know why that's the theme tune I've decided for the Herald charge, but just every time I see it, it happens.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not even sure what that theme tune was.
Pretty sure it's from when you know when Lancelot is running towards the castle in Monty Python's Holy Grail.
That's probably a larger pop cultural impact than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Go watch that anyway.
It's great.
Fantastic movie. Very much enjoy that one as... I don't know. I don't really know how to follow with that one, but yeah, go do it.
When has an X in front of their name, I start making those references.
Neurons activated. Exactly. So this time, W are forcing onto UCal on the bot side. You don't really want to be going in towards that Zeri with the barrier, flash, and ult with 6 kills behind them. Fofo is going to get the goal from the side lane turret, though. Have they gone too far, though? Hoya has Mechanized. It's good timing for him.
This could be very scary. Fofo has just dashed, does have the flash, may be forced to burn it very early here. He's in a pretty tricky position, doesn't flash quite yet. The follow-up CC is brutal. Ignites on him, and the chain lightning claims the life of him. The solar flare, not quite in time. UCal flashes in. They finally goes down, but the damage surely is done. Wayward nearly takes Feather on the way as Beichuan flashes to get more Qs, more autos. One extended silly here. What time is it, he says? Time for some bullets, you imagine, but he's yet to pop the ultimate. I'm forced to hold my breath. Does get one back. Feather goes down, but they're caught under the turret as the plants keep spawning. Where's your weed killer? WE, because Thunder Talk claimed the entire team.
It's as if a million voices cried out, oh, we're suddenly silenced. The super weapon of the Misfortune ultimate just comes in to clean up. These, the Rebel base, and there's this bot lane turret. TT, they get themselves a full team ace before 18 minutes. Such high base damage, and the fact that the rest of his team manages to clear up one beyond this point. But that is not the same as the flanking dart. The flanking Varus is not it. And
the Chains of Corruption landed onto Yukon, otherwise you'd have been able to free fire a bit more, and then finally they were ready and willing to fire, and Alderaan falls here in the bot lane.
Okay, so TT look to see if they can once again fly themselves into the position here and see if they can get themselves forwards. That's a big Varus already used, but not really getting that much out of it. Big cooldown used.
They are going to be around this round. Will be so point for TT, and the plants are all in line. I just don't know how easy it's going to be break through. The Stranglethorns come on through. Feather into the backline with a headbutt, and the Pulverizer somewhat interrupted. In goes Hoya with a double crunch to get into the backline as the transformation comes on through, and Yanxiang is put to the sword, or I suppose the bolt. Well, there's no turret to play around. Wayward gets one. Fofo's going to try and TP out. Flash! Crunch! And a wallop brings down what Fofo was trying to do. No teleport to safety.
Oh, and sadly Abel, the last remaining messenger. Not to worry, still flying half a team comp, I guess. Even less than that as 4 members hit the ground. TT have blasted WE off the map around these dragons and around the bot side. Considering that the Varus was meant to be so far ahead and Hoya is making these plays, Hoya is 100% my MVP for this game so far. I know that you... the Rancor pit, that could be the boomerang instead.
Could we have Nunu and Willop? We're like
no, it's just like, no,
Willop's
so
the Rancor and Nunu's like a mini Boba.
Wayward's coming in, maybe trying to catch up Beitron. He doesn't have flash, and suddenly TT are not here.
Yeah, but Yuka's coming on down. Feather takes up so much time, and now on the back end, Wayward's in danger. Gets knocked up, tries to get something back, but already 2 members are dead, and of course, it's 1xN who picks them up. He may fire when ready one more time. This by Team Comp is fully operational. 3 dead already. And Yanxiang and Fofo will be left alive to try and rebuild what remains of the Rebel base.
What are we doing? Teleporting in as Varus? Wayward, buddy! This one has been domination from TT, and WE throwing themselves into the jaws of the enemy.
And 3-item misfortune with the Rapid Fire Cannon to get those love taps coming on through. Even those incidental autos now will really start to sting on people. It's got so many ways to just throw down that bit of poke. The Zeri W, the plants from the Zyra. Misfortune waiting for those rapid fire options and making it rain. Able to see taking 10% of his HP bar just off some of those very, very low effort poke options from TT.
And you know what? TT, normally I would trust them to play out a lane dominant style for Wayward, because Wayward is a lane dominant top laner. He plays towards snowballing through his lane. The fact that he got shut down was, oh god, but it's just not had the impact he wanted to. And ult does go wide.
Oh boy, Stranglethorns come on through, and Abel of all people is the one who's caught up on top of the mark now in danger. Bullet time comes flying across everyone. Wayward has to flash away, but Yukal's now in the backside of them all. There was always another member, always 2 there are. And AD carries in this game will be the Sith Lords, perhaps, as TT match on into the base.
And it's Thunder Talk marching their way in for an inhibitor at 24 minutes with the Baron still remaining. They might even push for more. Fofo has flash, Yanxiang has flash. Looks like TT, and they're not, well, maybe they are looking for the end. They're at least looking for minimum 2 inhibitors.
Wipe them out. All of them, the inhibitors are under siege. 2 of them fall, 1 remains, but I don't think the rest of the base will be standing
like
a very alternate universe at the Star Wars. Right? We said that Wayward was somehow the Dark Lord of the Sith that is on the Rebel team now, so who knows?
Great blue trink to spot out what could have been a comeback play for W. Now the problem is they've overextended, looking for that Fnatic brush. Fofo trying to teleport away. He won't be stopped in this one.
Ooh, no, not quite, but Mark will still fall down. Fofo loses half his HP bar, but stays alive.
Fofo, much like that first game, gets himself just out of the jaws of this team comp from TT, but it doesn't save them. It's still Ocean Soul from TT. It's still them pushing in for more and more, getting themselves likely a last inhibitor. W, what have they got left in the tank? What do they have in the tank to begin with?
Who knows? It's looking a little bit limited. Maybe they have got a hope and a prayer, but it'll have to be some absolute magic as Yanxiang caught in between the base gates. He's being jumped on by Hoya. It's a Star Destroyer versus a very paltry troop transport at this point. What are you before the full might of the Empire? Hoya continues to auto down the Cougar in the jungle.
Yeah, call him the Tanty 4 the way that one went. He gets ran down as the bullet time comes out once again. All weapon systems online.
Mark goes down as well, and that'll be it. The Nexus falls. Death Star is primed and ready to bring TT to a clean 2-0 victory.
These were some of the best highlights from the Rumble stage of LPL Summer 2024 matchup between Top Esports and Weibo.
wave crashes in, so 369 is going to be putting down a ward. He has now used his ward, and Weibo do not... Well, Tarzan's completely off vision.
Get the hook shot into the Pillar of Flame makes this a very scary position for 369. A flash for the Seer means first blood to Breathe's Camille.
So, we were talking about jungle CS.
Really
It's a
good
win.
job of roaming with Mako, getting into the enemy jungle, trying to get some of those camps away from Tarzan, who has tried to trade back by at least impacting lanes, but is still coming at the cost of his own
He's a
well-being.
very deadly champion, particularly 2-item Camille is where that champion goes nuclear, really. But we need to see now from Weibo.
Remember, Mako still doesn't have a flash, could be in serious danger here. Now the damage comes on for the Eclipse Shield is solid. Jackie now in danger as well, has to flash away because there is no cleanse. Another Winter's Bite lands, the turnaround is good, but the door, phenomenal! Stops so much of the bullet time damage, a flash on in from Tarzan, ensures that waits! Misfortune still gets a kill on the way out. Jackie buying his life in blood.
The shield was fantastic from Crisp. I thought Crisp had outplayed, but he still gets taken down into the watery depths of Bilgewater. Misfortune claiming that one. Jackulov will be up, and with the scrub will be able to get towards the lane fairly quickly, but still, I think overall a win for Weibo. They might be able to get themselves a couple of minions dying to tower. Breathe needs to be careful here. Delays himself that hook shot.
Stranglethorns afterwards, though, means surely a dead Breathe as well, who'll be breathing no more. The Hextech Ultimatum is solid, though, but it's an execute because, of course, Breathe had no damage on the Zyra.
One of my biggest complaints of Zyra jungle is why are people...
Got a 1v3 as Tien at the top. Our Scream will be coming on down here as well. This Camille about to be under attack again. Arrow coming on down.
Is that going to be accurate? It's going right the way down the river. It's following Xiaohu as well. Breathes alone down here. It misses. But here comes Xiaohu all the same. Has flash, has ult, and Mako is out of this team's radius.
Teleport coming on through. It'll be a 1 versus 4 now. Breathe still in danger. Xiaohu nearly here. Wants to get something back. Gets a fate sealed with that soul unbound to allow a ping back, but the roots are pretty huge. Xiaohu gets Mako. Turret shots coming in to fly on through with Xiaohu, though, tanking up the minions. Ensure the top esports pick up a second in trade for just the one.
And that's going to be like 3 waves lost to turret, especially with the bullet time coming through to clear out the wave. Weibo have just lost a huge play on this side. Breathe, who was meant to be the win condition for Weibo, has been put behind him. You know, top esports, they lost a great series to BLG. They lost the series to LNG as well. And it felt like, you know, what people...
Taken top esports is a very impressive number. They have not dropped a lot of games this year.
Well, that's just from summer. So for me, that's actually quite a bad stat because they've won so many games. The fact that they ended up losing any in general is something. The arrow's going to go wide again. Tarzan misses his stun, looking for a smite still, but he's rooted.
Big turnaround there, and my god, the Zyra damage with the bullet time over the top is just foul. Mako traded back to the Glacial Prison. Sorry, Glacial Fissure lands onto Jacula, but he will still be going to the Prison of Death. In comes Camille from downtown as well, and top esports on the extraction lose 2. At least Tien gets 1 back, but is rooted under turret and will surely fall as well. The raid boss, no Breathe, got slowed. The E-slow and the red buff do enough to keep Tien alive.
Tien, 5-1-1, and Weibo, maybe they wish that top esports hadn't watered that house plant quite as much. It is deadly. We might get ourselves another fight around this Herald too.
4 versus 5 as well. 369 was just top lane on the Cassante, getting another turret, so let's value out of that. It looks a bit messy, but the extended play still ends up okay as Jackie now stepping on forwards. Crisp in danger, could well be going down as the all-out comes on down onto the Braum. Santa Braum put on his own naughty list.
That was a really nice play from 369. Flashes for the ult as the Braum stun comes through, so he doesn't get like isolated in the front.
House fire.
Haven't seen these arrows get the value that Weibo wants. Xiaohu has Q3, can potentially go in here. Finds Cream.
Oh no, Cream was thinking he was safe, but manages to Valkyrie over the wall. Xiaohu though can still trade back. We'll be able to get some more damage coming back as he pings back and forces a flash out of Cream. Who knows? It could have gotten pretty ugly there with the blade moving in. Mako is now in danger himself. Tarzan throws out the Pillar of Flame, but a knockup prevents Jacula from getting that much value out of the bullet time. Trying to trade back on the light in the 1v2, but there's just not far enough to go. Puts on the afterburners, but light brings him down. Bow and arrow beats guns. Tien finally falls, will be brought low eventually, but claiming that huge shutdown is big news for light. Servers bait us all, and Tien gets to walk away.
I think if Weibo wanted to pull that fight, they would have teleported. Now, Xiaohu is teleporting to the sideline. Look, again, it's not sole point. Breathe is going forwards. He can ult forwards here, all out. Not going to break the ultimatum.
Fate Seal still lands, trying to get the damage to 369, doesn't have to resist anymore and goes down.
So this is why earlier I was saying I feel like the scrappy gameplay is going to continue. There's no soul point. There's no huge advantage just yet. Top esports, they're ahead in terms of gold, but Weibo, they're playing towards 1-3-1. They say, okay, take the dragon. We're still left alone in bot side, so the teleport should be coming through. Here comes the arrow.
Arrow lands, will hit onto one, not the most valuable target though. It's still very dark and down to half HP. This might actually just end up being the Baron take. They're way too late. Tarzan flashes out of the bullet time. Baron secured. Look at the fight afterwards though. Can Top finish up what they started? Mako low but not down. Tarzan eviscerated. Into the back line goes Xiaohu though, alongside Breathe. The double soul Leonard's trying to get something back as the Corki is dead. Breathe trying to run away, but there's just not enough breath in the lungs. Light trading on out, doing his best he can to claim 369, but it's still Top Esports with the overall victory. Baron secured on 3.
That is exactly what that could be. They still have so much damage though. We saw what happened when Weibo couldn't get the lockdown. You can see that Weibo, they have to give this up. Now the problem is, this is the problem with Safari League of Legends. You watch the objective go down, and maybe you could have had a cross map by moving across the map. Maybe it's full tower taken, so that'll be even more gold coming over. And now the problem is, if you are sieging as Top Esports now, and what's the problem?
Hang on.
Breathe. Oh, it's a pick in the jungle.
Chris will get to hop away, stay alive, solar flare afterwards. Still not enough to keep him alive, just burns down to the ignite.
Does it? He just ends up just completely eating every bit of damage that Top Esports can throw at him. Weibo, it's so hard to go into this group unit of Top Esports, and they managed to get themselves an important kill. The Baron's not even up, but just the siege and range of this team is going to make it so hard to defend this turret now.
What was looking a very even game very much isn't anymore. The cohort of Top Esports here and sieging. It'd be very difficult to break through that phalanx.
Out beyond the parapets of this one. That's the arrow coming through. It's not great, but they don't have the Braum for the follow-up CC, and Tarzan is burned out to half HP just by the Thermal Thorns.
Jackie Love is getting very low though. Xiaohu to the backline, can't quite get onto valuable members. The stopwatch comes on through the TN. 369 buys some space, and actually the burn on the Top Esports over the extended fight, proving pretty damn obnoxious. Another pillar of fire into the hook shot of 369, not quite going down the floor. Comes on up. Hextech ultimated puts Mako in a dangerous position. The Zenith Blade takes him into the abyss, and another kill for Camille.
Xiaohu has flash, but he doesn't have Q3, and he doesn't have his ult. He's just going to E forwards, and that's going to be it. They're going to try and stop some of these recalls, and again, this is why we view that you're going to eat a lot of that poke. The dragon is going down very, very quickly. We're seeing more Safari League of Legends. Breed's going in.
Jackie Love, it's a shoot, but the arrow landed onto the Cream as well. That'll be danger onto the Corki, trying to stay alive, but they lose. The Camille, the damage back, just not there in time. Xiaohu is only here now. Infernal Soul claimed by Top Esports. And Weibo think they have the flank. They get both AD carry CC'd, and the damage just doesn't follow up. Fate sealed is only Xiaohu's own.
And they keep fighting on. 369 does burn down. Tarzan does have the damage. He's done 6,000 damage already, but it is not enough. Top Esports, the arrival of the objective first. Finding yourself sorely disappointed. They are here to play, and Weibo, despite their own level up, the fact is that Top Esports just don't have they're just not threatened enough on the backline. Xiaohu is even spotted going over the wall here, and the all-out brings him back over. Xiaohu couldn't get to that fight in time. He didn't have that global. Weibo weren't there in time as a full unit to make this fight any closer.
You'd think it was a bit of a brilliant Cream. Throws out one much damage and just takes down Light alongside himself going down.
So it's going to be a kill until one
of the first kill of the game, by the way, Cream. Still Light, doing some damage, and Chris taking very low there, throws out the glacial fissure into the backline, goes Breathe, flash away from Jackie, might not be enough to save her life, but the Strangle Thorns is absolutely ridiculous, and Jackie just stands and delivers with a little assistance from his team.
Top Esports have the gods of Peel on their side. 369 and TN throw out their ultimates and save their AD carry. Can't quite get the damage. Teleport available. Top Esports might have overpushed in this one, but again, they have so many ultimates to peel for them. It's really hard for Weibo to get the damage down.
There's no to keep our eyes on this one. Inhibitor now about to be sieged. Will we see that teleport fold? I think Weibo just saying, look, we can't do this right now. We lose this fight, the game is over. They decide against once or twice, and even then it's been hard to follow up. We haven't seen a combo between Xiaohu and Breathe all coming together at once, and the bullet time in Trey puts Tarzan out of a 10% HP, has to flash away, tries to turn around with a Pillar of Flame, and a Pyroclasm still available. Fate sealed away from Xiaohu again. Breathe down into the GA, 369 flashing on out. Breathe tries to get one back at the end of it all, but already the peel is there for 369 this time, and he stays alive.
There is always another peel tool for Top Esports, and Weibo, they're throwing themselves, but they're just getting dashed against the rocks. 3 inhibs down, 369 teleporting in with a full HP bar. No Camille this time, Weibo falling.
Oh, bring him into the kitchen and smell the citrus. I've never seen more peeled vegetables and fruits in my life. Weibo Gaming chopped to pieces, and Top Esports clean up a phenomenal team fight game.
For those of you wondering whether Top Esports had met their demise in summer, you are sorely mistaken. Through the game, the Karma is here to give you some level 1 priority to make sure that the Kalista Renata doesn't get an easy push in and start down.
That one, but flash blown, everything else working out okay.
So 369 blowing that flash. Tarzan coming back again though.
For that regank, he's just going to be here as 369 puts down the wall, but it could already be too late. Can't quite get in range until just now. 369 though still being burned down, and the slow is just enough. First blood to the Rumble.
So, we said the big trade-off for Weibo was you lock in that Rumble. Nothing is fair against Rumble right now. This champion just destroys lanes.
Harpoon, Tien is here, and Crisp and Light so very low.
So the level 3, they don't have a heal, they have the cleanse, the ignite, they're going to spot out Tien here. They will have that level 3, which means they have the bailout, means it's not easy to get this.
Just dies before we can use it, never mind. Light in danger now as well. That's that passive from Tien stacking on him, but will not be brought down. Kill in
the last pick of the draft. Ends up being a bit of a proton torpedo into Weibo's draft. That Karma has really, really ruined the win conditions of Weibo's early game. They're going to have to scrap their way through it. This is going to be a level 6 Rumble coming down towards these grubs. You might see a fight right now coming through. Tien takes one of them, jumps backwards. Tarzan already used that W, which means it won't be available. Long cooldown of that first rank. Second one goes down. No fight coming just yet.
369 gets the slicing maelstrom down. Breathe, chunk low, but not down quite yet. Tien may be forced to get out of the pit, fails the flash over the wall, doesn't have an arctic assault right now, and with the W there, means Tien is stuck in the pit and falls down.
One kill over to Weibo in this extended play to match that one on the top side earlier. It's still going to be 2 grubs to the side of Tien. I'm surprised that Weibo couldn't get themselves a cleaner fight around that, but Tien manages to get himself a play at points. Is that when you have to play the on-hit version of the Kalista, whether that was the old Blade Hurricane build in the past or the Blade and the Terminus and Rage Blade build as it is currently, if you don't have the stats, you have to still go very low range and you can't dance away from everything. As it stands, they're getting ganked again.
Gonna try and get some damage back as Crisp, chunked very low, nowhere really to go. He's got the bailout on top of him, so they just turn on to Light, who just about survives for a second or two longer. The bailout comes on through regardless, and Jackie gets both.
Masterclass from Top Esports bot lane. The draft has worked, the level 1 has worked, and the continuation to the bailouts onto the Renata. They don't have to focus them, they put the damage onto the Kalista instead. Crisp goes down, and sadly this Kalista Renata is now down in a 2v2. More than 2,500 gold between the Ezreal and the Karma. That's just gone up to 3,500 gold lead as a 2v2 between both the Ezreal and the Karma.
It's so rough to see, and again, this was a lane that was drafted for Weibo game to get pressure and attack bot. Tarzan, understandably in some ways, decided, look, I'd rather go top lane after we didn't really find an angle early, but it's come at such an insane cost, and the value back just hasn't been there. Crisp walks over a ward. 369 is in danger, don't get me wrong, but how much value getting here all the while?
I really feel like this needs to work out. The ult comes through. That's a lot of damage onto Tarzan. It will be the kill. Crisp goes down.
No, not quite.
Not quite. Thought he would do. Tien has himself that ultimate. Could potentially look for a jump over the wall as Jackie and Mako are rotating topside, but no kill back. That is bare minimum for what Weibo need. Cream is still hitting the outer turret in mid lane, though, as this happens.
Tarzan is there, just allowing Xiaohu to get out of dodge for now. But Tien and Mako could look to go forwards here. Shield on top speeds Tien up briefly, but they won't pull the trigger. They're happy to give up that one kill.
Cream
nearly here.
Over. Wall stun.
Jumps on in, gets the double knock up with the Keeper's Verdict, but Mako stays alive. Another turnaround damage begins to come on through. The hostile takeover is short. Not going to be useful. Tarzan dead to rights. Light stunned up. Goes down again this game. The bailout does not keep him alive. Crisp in danger. Goes down as well. Mako only falls now as Xiao, who has to Valkyrie forwards to get him. Grubs have spawned. Top Esports are there. Jackie looks for a snipe that's not going to land anything. Jackie gets more plates. This mid lane turret under siege. No herald required. And that's before 40 minutes. So the value is huge. This gold lead is ballooning to monstrous.
Oh, do you remember that era of Season 8, Season 9, when Conqueror was one of the most busted runes we'd ever seen? And you had junglers who were stronger than solo laners because they could just like kill you at level 3, level 4. Like that I want to see a few more of those mid laners back.
369 potentially has a teleport angle here if he wants to come looking for this herald. The observer's like, look, they can really look for this, and they know it's coming on in. Here come the rest of Top Esports. Xiaohu backing away. The ultimate comes on through from Rumble, but already Poppy has been deleted. 369 with flash could look for a slicing maelstrom. This just not required. Doesn't even get involved with the kill. But they get out, they lose 2, and they're going to lose the Herald too.
Look, folks, if you are losing control of the map at 15 minutes and getting flank teleported on from within your own jungle, there is a huge issue. Top Esports, you know, they've gotten every single objective on the map besides one grub. They're going to get lost that bot lane. I think that thing's fell apart. I have to say now, on retrospect, whether Tarzan should have still tried to hardcore focus bot. When you have the Ezreal Karma, you have that Glycerin, it is obvious whoever gets there as a jungler first and gets to flip that lane is going to make a mess of things. JackeyLove and Mako win that level 1. Tien comes down first and the game falls apart. I think trusting the Kalista Renata to survive against that lane is a bit of fool's hope.
Yeah, and doing it by itself when you've drafted for influence from the jungle just hasn't happened. I feel like in some ways you had to trust Breathe to win the lane by himself. And in fairness, he's been a win condition in some ways. He's the only part of the team that is ahead and is still very scary. It's just look at the leads literally everywhere else. Even the look in mid lane was just hopped away from casually by Cream.
I mean, Cream's Tristana, this is one of the other things you gave up for this. The last pick of the Karma, I think, actually ends up winning the draft because it was incredible. I think that Mako's flexibility on display there, a man of 1,000 games plus, actually. Has completely ruined this game with the versatility. There is going to be an objective bounty. There's going to be a teleport. Tarzan here too.
Tarzan on a flank, can look to get onto someone's key. Forces Cream to flash away. The equalizer comes on through, but only really chunks out Mako. The heal comes on down and into the backline. The damage is huge. The Pokeball is summoned to try and keep the support alive.
This is 4v5.
There's no Kennen here.
And this is a 4v5. Top Esports end up winning out through that one. The wall stun didn't come through, and therefore, again, Weibo, that was a lot of the remaining ammunition they had. They don't have those flashes and teleports now.
It was a limited chance anyway. Mako gets the root over the wall, and the Tarzan is frozen up. The True Shot Barrage does so much damage at this point of the game. You can see the statistical analysis there. I think it might be a little higher than that. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Yeah, but it's Top Esports piloting this composition. It's a little bit higher than that, so Turret also going to be forced in as well. Baron hasn't even spawned yet. This is how dominant it is. The Baron's not even spawned. Weibo, they're trying to get some objective bounties. They got one in the top lane out of turret. They get another one in the bot lane out of turret just now. That is something back, but it is not nearly enough. Top Esports, they have themselves the Sejuani ultimate coming up soon. And that is big bong one turret. Gets the extended blast of Range as well. They don't have that Rumble equalizer now. The only gold on their team has gone to Breathe, and he can't even get himself that team-winning ultimate because he's using it for wave clip. Weibo have been outclassed, hugely so. And of course, now with that ultimate coming through, there is defender's advantage for Weibo where they can go through and regen from the base plate. But given how much poke has come through, it might not even save their inhibitors. JackeyLove is here, just whacking around that turret, misses the spell flux on this as well. Maybe he's trying to catch out light beyond that, but he has enough anyway beyond that point. One inhibitor fallen at 19.5 minutes, another one open beyond this point. There is a teleport from Breathe. He has a flash, but he might have been spotted.
Oh, he was. He's on a control ward, so it's a known quantity, and Breathe with no Zhonya's. Really in a great position necessarily to full-on face tank. No Rift Maker or anything like that. They'll lose the Skull Crab here as well, and instead they just turn onto the Rumble, who flashes away. Does land that Electro Harpoon. Tarzan missing with the Keeper's Verdict. Could still prove a little bit problematic here as Cream steps on forwards. Remember, Kennen not here. Still, this is still a 4v4. Teleport now flying on through his shadow. He's tugged out by that True Shot Barrage. Cream still alive, still healthy, still dangerous. Chris gets the bailout as Tarzan chunked out by a slicing Maelstrom. Light is snuffed, and Breathe falls as well, breathing his last. The inhibitors are exposed, Baron's alive, and they've got their choice of the litter in terms of what they go towards.
And not even
the 5 grub, Soul Point coming on through. It feels like a game that is 10 minutes later than it is, purely off the lead. It's a 12,000 gold lead, it's only just gone 21 minutes.
I mean, they're getting more than 500 gold lead.
JackeyLove, Lord Almighty, he's 3 items. It's only an item on Light. He is a 1-item Kalista. On the other side, Jackie is about to be able to 1v9 this as Cream gets jumped on by Tarzan, but gets to buffer over the wall. Still has Buster Shot available, flashes out of the equalizer, does eventually go down, but all the while, their base is being broken apart.
And now you don't have the equalizer either. If you have the equalizer, you can look for a big AoE team fight. There are 3 Baroned up super minion waves. Weibo, you catch Cream, but at what cost?
Yeah, finally, I understand going for dessert first. The problem is you've got to deal with the meat of the matter. And that is JackeyLove. That is the rest of Top Esports, who are quite happy to have a 3-course meal named Weibo Gaming. They have been feasting all game long, with the exception of poor old 3x69, who's been on a diet. But maybe, just maybe, he's allowed to have a little bit of something at the end as just a treat to end up this series. Top Esports have taken no prisoners this game. No sign of remorse. They are back on board. Their first series win at the Rumble stage.
Top Esports maybe
These were some of the best highlights from the Rumble stage of LPL Summer 2024 matchup between Top Esports and Weibo. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.